Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Venom vlog. And in today's episode and the next episode after this, we're going to go to school, basically. I'm going to take some of you guys to class. And we have a substitute teacher helping us out, which is Venom the Duck. And he's going to be popping up on screen at times when I'm trying to make a point to help me illustrate my point to you guys. Because I noticed a couple of topics popping up in my live streams recently as 2 days ago, actually on Thursday. And it's getting annoying now because on my show, you guys know, people who watch. I mean, granted, new people don't know, but people who have been here, you guys know and you watch. I don't like talking about the rating of this movie because it's a pointless conversation. It's most likely going to be PG-13, and I'll explain why in the next episode. But in this episode, the other topic that irritates me is when people DM me or write me and say, hey, I got some information about when the Venom 2 trailer is going to drop. And you don't have any information. You're going off of some Reddit post or some obscure comment made somewhere, and that's it. Or you're going off of someone, photoshopped image of them talking to Sony Belgium or something. Like you keep buying into this fake bullshit. And I'm here to help you in this episode figure out what's fake and what isn't. Now, everything I go over in this video is just how I determine if something's fake. Like if I don't know, so when the Super Bowl ad, for example, people sent that to me. When I first watched it, I was like, oh, interesting. Because I was at work and I was on a break. So I was kind of like, it was real quick. I was like, oh, let me check this out real quick. And I saw it and I was like, oh, neat. And I wrote the person back like, hey, thanks for sending it to me. I'll look into it later. But I don't know, it could be fake because it looks like it's filmed on a phone on someone's TV, and but it doesn't. It looks like a monitor, like a computer monitor. So I wasn't really sure. So I was like, whatever, I don't know. We'll figure it out later. And then of course later on, I got to hear it again. I was like, oh yeah, that voice is definitely fake. But of course, you never know, right? So these are the steps I take after I'm unsure. If I go like, hey, I don't know if this trailer is real or not. Instead of bugging anybody, because sure, I could maybe send an email or bug somebody about it, but I don't like to play that card all the time. I like to actually use my brain and figure things out and not waste anyone's time and not reach out to someone every single time a rumor pops up. So these are the things I use to help me deduce of whether, figure out if this is fake or not. So the first thing I do is if a piece of information comes out and they say, hey, on this day, a trailer is going to drop, like Super Bowl, for example, I'll go to Trailer Track on Twitter and I'll see if they posted anything about it because they usually and typically get wind of the new trailer before it comes out, even sometimes a day or two before, or right when the press, like if, let's say someone's like, hey, we're going to release a Fast 9 trailer at the Super Bowl. Then as soon as they send that to the press, very soon after, Trailer Track gets information about it somehow, like whoever their sources are. And then they'll post, hey, in a couple days, we're going to get this trailer. And they were pretty consistent on Super Bowl Sunday. They were like, hey, here's the trailers we're probably going to get. And then I think they forgot about one. But like, oh, we forgot about one. Here's this trailer too. So, but they did post about that one they forgot about earlier in the week. They just forgot to post about it again that morning of the Super Bowl. But then the trailer came out like, oh yeah, we forgot this one too. So they usually get wind of things like that. So first I'll go and check them. Now they're not 100%, but it's still, these are just the checklist I go through. So go to Trailer Track, check them out. If you don't see anything there, sometimes, just sometimes, this is for you people who think the movie's going to be rated R, which you're delusional, it's not going to be, but we'll talk about that in the next video. You can go to filmratings.com and they have a Twitter account and a website. And you can go there and see if there's any rating of the movie that's been officially announced. Because this one trailer in particular at the Super Bowl, the fake one, they said the movie was rated R, which that right there showed me it was fake. They also said the movie was coming out in 2022, which that's possible. So that's where some of the confusion was, I think. But they also, no, they said that the trailer was going to drop in 2022. But again, like I said, that could still be possible with everything that's going on. So go to Film Ratings, check them out, and if they post a rating on there, that means the movie has been officially rated. Like I said, we'll talk about the rating of it in the next video though. So, but if Film Ratings hasn't posted anything, that means there's no rating of the movie. So that means, still there could be a trailer that comes out and it'll just say this film has not yet been rated. So we could still get a trailer. So again, it's not 100% proof that, that nothing's coming, but it's just another thing I'd go on my checklist. Okay, no Trailer Track. Okay, nothing there. Film Ratings, nothing there. Okay, what do I do next? Well, of course, what I do is I go to these websites. These are real websites, I like to say. All websites, I guess, are real to some level, but these ones will get information from studios directly. And so that's why I always go to them and see if they're posting anything about the possibility of a trailer. I do not go to these websites or anyone on that board there. I don't go to any of them because they are not as reliable as the websites we looked at first. So if Cosmic Book News or someone like that or Screen Rant is posting about a possible Venom trailer, I won't believe it, especially if Variety and Deadline aren't also doing it. So that's another way you can check to see if it's fake. And then on top of all that, you can go to Sony's official page, because I don't know if you know how marketing works, but typically a studio will let people know when to expect information. They'll usually put stuff out there and say, hey, in a few days, you're going to get a Venom trailer. So if they're not posting anything about it, that's another check. If you're going down right now and you have 0 checks, chances are this piece of news that you got that you want to bring to me in my DMs or on my Twitter account or on my Instagram, it's looking fake so far. But the final nail in the coffin that you can check is you can go right to Tom Hardy and Andy Serkis's Instagram page. If you see anything posted there, then chances are it could be real. But if they have nothing posted there, then it isn't real, because Tom was very hands-on in the marketing for the first movie. He would post things, he'd leave it up for a couple hours, and sometimes he would delete them. But typically the things he deleted were like people's artwork or something outside of, something direct from Sony. So again, if it's an official trailer, he will post stuff. So you can guarantee, he promotes all of his movies on his Instagram account. He was away from Instagram for a while, came back recently, but that's also, we got news that he's going to be in a new movie coming up for Netflix called Havoc. So he's still working, he's still got things going on, but he's back on Instagram, so I'm keeping an eye on his page. But don't believe people if they say, oh, he posted something and took it down. Like, don't automatically believe that. Same with Andy Serkis. If it's real, if it's an actual piece of movie information, like a trailer, when it's going to drop, an official image, they will not delete that. They will post it and they will keep it. So there you go. Go down that checklist. If all of those things, if you have 0 checks on that, even if you only have 1 check, if it's not Trailer Track or Sony or Tom and Andy, then I would be hesitant of it. Maybe Variety too. Like if that's 1 check, okay, you could probably buy into it, but still hold it with a grain of salt until you get a second check, I would say, on the board. So if you go through this and you only have 1 check, don't bring it to me. Don't at all. Take your own time, use your own common sense. These are the things I do. And if I see 0, if I go down the list and I have 0 checks, that means we're not getting a trailer. And so when people like to come at me and go, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, well, I know that these are pretty reliable sources, the list I went through. And if none of them are talking about it, then chances are this is not a real thing. And that chances are some random person on Reddit or Twitter or someone did not get wind of it. Like someone's like, oh, I emailed, or DM'd Sony Belgium. It's like, no, you're full of shit. These people Photoshop. They work really hard to get troll information out there, and that's fine. They're very talented at it because it works for a lot of people. But this is the checklist I use. So if none of those things get checked off, I don't buy it, and neither should you. So anyone who wants to come into my mentions or anything like that, and they say, hey, I got wind of a source or whatever, you're full of shit. If it doesn't have all these checks on it, you're full of shit, and don't waste my time with it. Because on my channel, maybe other channels will talk about rumors and long shots like that and reach for information, and maybe they're so desperate to make a video, they're like, oh, I can make a video on this. I'm not that desperate. I can make a video on 100 other Venom comics, toys, cartoons, video games. I got plenty of stuff I can work on. So getting some piece of fake movie news out there is not my priority. And I don't treat my audience like that. I don't like to hype people up and crumble them and smash their expectations. I'm not here to disappoint people. I'm here to just give information when it's reliable. And that's the only reporting I do on here. Other than that, we discuss things, comics and movies and things like that. But when it comes to reporting, I try to only report stuff that is accurate as possible. And sure, I could be wrong at times, but this checklist, every time ever since I made this checklist last year, when we first started hearing rumors about a Venom 2 trailer last February, ever since then, I've made this list. And this is the list I've been going off of for a year, and it's never led me wrong. So now the list is yours. Use it, and if you creep in my DMs or my mentions from here on out, after you see this video and you go through this checklist, if you still have 0 checks and you bring something to me, I will just flat out block you now, because this is the end. This is all we're doing. We will get a trailer when it's good and ready to drop, and we'll get official news about it when they're good and ready to share it. So thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I really do appreciate it. In the next video, we'll go over why the movie does not have to be rated R. It could be, sure, but it doesn't have to be. And we're going to go through another class with Venom the Duck, and we're going to talk about it in that episode. So make sure you stay subscribed so you don't miss out. Thanks so much. See you in the future. Peace.